Hello, 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 and welcome, one and all, to my first review of the manga Fire Brigade of Flames. Now, this series is done by the same man or woman, I can't remember, but who wrote Soul Eater, another fantastic manga slash anime. So, this is going to be the review for the chapter 5. Now, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've read it, so I'm not going to go into detail about what happened in the first couple of chapters. I'm just going to say that it was entertaining, had some good action, some mystery, it's just really, it draw me in, so that's why I decided to start reviewing this, because it's exciting and it looks interesting. Now, for this chapter, we start off where our main character, the quote-unquote demon, has arrived at the newcomer tournament, or should I say the location of the newcomer tournament, and of course, one of the other people, and then they're like, oh, so they're doing, I guess, some sort of roll call, and this chick from the first brigade steps forward and says, oh, Tamaki Kotatsu stepping up. And of course, the first thing that he notices is the fact that she's barely wearing anything. So which is funny, fan service, woohoo. And of course, has once again brings out that really weird, quirky smile. And then we get introduced to the 119, that they are basically the mascots of the Fire Defense Agency. And apparently, people were like, oh, wow, there was originally 2 dogs and a cat, but the higher-ups thought it would complain that all the members being represented animals, so they gave plastic surgery to a dog to make it look like an old man. So it's kind of funny looking. And then they notice all of the big shots that are there, from the president of Hajima Heavy Industries to even the priest of the Holy Soul Temple. So they're basically saying, okay, you got to put your best foot forward. All the big shots are here. And of course, they noticed that the soldiers from the first brigade, or he hasn't actually noticed them yet. And they're like, oh, there's some people from the 5th, the 3rd, and then, boom, the big shot. A big shot. Fire Brigade, 1st Brigade. And this guy's design looks awesome. He has I call it the chin strap beard, where it comes down from your sideburns and connects at your, the tip of your chin, and then you get a little tip there. And he has long hair, and the eye patch kind of reminds me of Gildart's from Fairy Tail, and so, but only sort of reminds me of him. We also find out that was the guy who was there at that fire so long ago. And so our main character, which, sorry if I don't mention his name because I can't remember it at this point, he basically tries to ask him, the question. But of course, the guy, they keeps, dodging or talking to him and asking him questions and stuff to basically prevent him from actually asking that question. So, there you go, Shinra. Shinra is our main character, sorry. Shinra basically tries to ask, but when he introduces himself to this guy, the guy's like, has a serious face, and then he, just, when Shinra tries to ask him a question, he basically, about the fire incident from 12 years ago, he just says, oh, I don't have time for it, and just leaves. And then he tries to chase after him, but then the new recruit, the female new recruit, Tamako, hold on, it's one thing I really hate is when these mangaka make such an hard to remember names for their characters. Tamaki. Tamaki. So apparently Tamaki Senpai's in this, but as a girl. So anyway, Tamaki basically tries to prevent the Shinra from catching up to the guy from the first brigade, basically saying you, and then somehow he just, in being stopped by her, Shinra just casually puts his hand under her, I guess, bikini top looking bra thing, and just starts grabbing her chest while she just basically yelling at him and says, "Oh, how could you casually, how do you have the nerve to casually address the battalion commander of the 1st Brigade like that?" And then she just, after she gets through that, then she says, like, oh, slaps him. And she's like, "Oh, what's with that ridiculous grin, you perv?" And then he just, again, tries to get the battalion commander's attention, but fails to do so. So, and then as he, I guess, pushes Tamaki off, she ends up going, whoa, whoa, and then somehow lands in another guy's arms, who's apparently has his hands all over her, and she's like, she pushes off at him, so let go of me. And then he's like, "Oh, you're the one who embraced me." And then you just see another panel of her just bouncing from guy to guy, who apparently just, as she happens to go into their arms, she ends up being touched pervertedly like them. And of course, ends up back at Shinra again, who has now casually put his hands in her pants and is grabbing her butt. And then the freaking battalion commander's like, "Tamaki, keep it in your pants." And then she just sits there, like crying on the floor, like, "Damn it, why am I always the victim of these lucky lechery syndrome? The victim of the lucky lechery syndrome?" Like, and then before she has more time to elaborate, they basically announce, "Okay, time to begin. So please get your uniforms on." And the battalion commander then says to him, basically, that, "I've been in so many fire incidents throughout the years. What do you expect? How do you expect me to remember a needle in a 12-year-old haystack? Competition about to begin. In the best interest to get ready." But then we see Shinra give a smile, I guess, because it looks different than his traditional, like, nervous grin, and he basically says, "Yeah, he's probably hiding something," and he probably is. So they get the first test where, I guess, just like any other, I guess, fire or police scenario type thing, where, you have volunteers from the force, from a separate one of the brigades, I guess, from brigade, pretending to be the good guy, the victims and the bad guys and whatnot, and they have to go in and through the obstacles and, take out the bad guys, get the good guys. You have all these people all the newbies line up, and they said, like, "Okay," and then they're like, "Okay." Once the starting gun is lit, they all rush off to get started. And then, Shinra just flies in with his flames, and then we see Tamaki used a technique known as the forked cat, which looks as if she has cat ears over her head, and look like flame talons flames form at her fingertips in the shape, I guess, claws, and I guess some sort of tail, and basically, I guess, use that as to help increase her running speed, and I guess try to catch up to him. But then when Shinra enters the building, he finds that everyone has been taken out, and our mystery man has come who basically said, "Oh, I've taken out all the fodder. Now you can give me your undivided attention, Mr. Devil's Footprints." And basically just outright states, hey, 12 years ago, the fire that befell your family, yeah, I guess you want to have a few questions about it. And Shinra's just getting all nervous and says, "What did you?" And I'm guessing if we would have finished the sentence, he said, "What did you just say?" So apparently, we're gonna get this early on. We're gonna get some more information about the, I guess the fire from Shinra's past, and that he probably has something to do about it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. It was this week's chapter was a good one. Got some character introductions. We got some special favorite being Tamaki, who apparently somehow has this horrible luck of running into men and them conveniently fondling her, grabbing her weird places. So it's definitely interesting character so far, and attractive, but she's probably also very young. But it's manga, whatever. So the mystery behind this fire seems to be growing. The desire to find out what happened is just growing. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. I know it's my first time reviewing the series, and it's still early on. It's only the 5th chapter, or it's chapter number is technically 5, but when you in actuality, since there was a prelude 0 chapter, this is technically like the 6th. But who really cares? So I hope you all enjoyed this review, and hope to see you all next week.